Hi, everyone, and welcome to Tap Into Your Creativity. Today we have an amazing guest artist. Her name is Pauline Johns. She is joining us from Canada, and I can't wait for her to join us. She has Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining in. This is so great. I love seeing everyone coming in. Thank you for being here. This is going to be such an incredible interview, and I can't wait to get Pauline here. So I'm just waiting for her to join us, and I see that she has joined. So I'm just going to see if she requests to go live with me. Hold on one second, guys. Pauline, if you can hear me, just there we go. There we go. Okay. So she will be here any second, hopefully. Hi. Hi.
My God.
You're here. I'm so
I'm
happy.
super excited to be here.
Oh my God, Pauline, thank you so much for joining my army of artists and joining me in this quest to help so many people at large, and for you to open your studio doors for everyone to see and hear what you have to say today and inspire all of us. You have inspiring people for many, many years, and we are so excited to hear your story today. So welcome.
Thank you. And wow, what a nice introduction. My goodness, I'm starting to blush here. Um, I'm really excited to chat with you, Sandra. Big thank you to you for inviting me to be part of your army of artists. And what you're doing is so amazing. I think it's so amazing. And you've been doing this for over a year, which is absolutely phenomenal. Nice hair, by the way.
Oh, you too.
Two of us were getting prepared yesterday.
Exactly.
But yeah, just really, really cool to be a part of something like this. So I want to thank you for that. It's really an honor. You've had a beautiful lineup of artists over the last year and change, and making change, and that's really phenomenal. So thank you for letting me be a part of this. It's pretty cool. And yeah, just really happy to be here. We're super excited.
Oh, well, I mean, we just connected, and we connected through our friend Cheryl.
Yeah,
And so big shout out to Cheryl Taves, who connected both of us. And it's been really remarkable to have this connections from all over the world, and just know that we are all in it to win it in a way. You know, we're all ready to work together and as artists to inspire people at home. And it's just been so incredible to see that. So let's start from the very beginning of your life. Where were you born? Tell us a little bit about your early years, I guess.
okay. And I'll try to be concise because I can ramble, as friends know.
I'll keep you on point. Don't worry.
I grew up so I'm in British Columbia, Canada, and I'm in the Okanagan right now, which is about 5 hours from the coast. I've been here about 10 years, but I grew up on the other side of Canada in Ontario. And I grew up in a large dairy farm, 300 acres, 150 head of cattle. So I was working by the age of 10. I remember actually getting up at 6 in the morning at the age of 10, at least, and doing a lot of work before heading off to school, you know? So I really love working because it's ingrained in me. It's got to be in my day. And so I remember as a kid actually really loving art, but you know, out in the country, not a lot of exposure. It really was out in the country. And, you know, maybe, I guess Ottawa would have been about an hour away, which would have been the biggest city. So my idea of art was to be able to, you know, copy a picture and things like that. So I always, I didn't have a lot of time to draw, let's face it. I did more drawing in the sandbox where I made play farms and things. If I had 15 minutes in a day, literally didn't have a lot of time. I studied hard, I worked hard, and got a
Was
little.
it expected from you or your siblings to work in the farm? Was it
Oh yeah,
something that, yes.
Yes, there. I have six siblings, so it was a large family,
Oh.
and we all worked it. And then we would have hired help too. It was a lot of work. I mean, you worked all year long, and Sundays maybe there was some time in the afternoon, but seriously, there was a lot. It was just a lot. You know, you got to feed the cows, milk them, and deliver babies, and all that other stuff. Right? But nature is so important to me, and even though I didn't spend a lot of time drawing, these things have come forward for me where I did take art in high school. I only did a couple of years because, believe it or not, it got in the way of practical studies like biology, um, you know, algebra and English and things that you should have. So I only did a couple of years, and I was also very impressionable. And if I didn't get the right feedback, I could easily drop it because that's not, my parents didn't discourage, but it just wasn't part of our lives. We didn't have time for that. I did do a little bit of drawing, not very well, you know, um, really big eyes on, you know, faces and things. I made a really nice sand sculpture once out of sand, literally sand. So I got a clue that I was good at this, but I mean, it was sand, so it was gone, and it was the most beautiful little seal. But anyway, high school, a little bit of art, but I went to out of high school, I moved to Toronto. That was 4 hours away, and I got into a modeling course, not because I dreamed to do that. I really was quite insecure as a young woman, as a young girl, and one of my friends had suggested, why don't you get into modeling? And that was just the thing that, you know, I'm tall and thin, right? It was the thing that made me feel better about myself, but I only did it for 6 months, and I knew it wasn't for me. It was just kind of so superficial. Nothing against models, but for me, it was just like, you know, I was shy, and now I was out there, and it was just too much. I went into hairdressing after that, something that I think my mom had suggested. I was really good at it. And I had focused in on becoming a hair color technician. So I did that. Thus, I did it myself.
I know, I can't believe that still.
I highlighted it, yeah.
Insane.
I did that for 10 years. I worked in salons and ended up in Yorkville, which is quite a nice area, you know, La Di Da area in Toronto. And I was very happy and proud to be there. But I started to feel like it wasn't me. It was like a show or something. So I ended up leaving there, and I moved out to British Columbia. And I was really of two minds of what to do. I thought I didn't want to do hairdressing anymore. So I thought maybe I could sell hair color. But during that time, 3 of my sisters had moved out to British Columbia, and my parents were visiting, and it was my dad's birthday, and I made him a birthday card, and I drew it. And you know, Sandra, what was amazing was when I gave it to him, and this is like practical dad and mom and work and be, you know, they always told us to work hard and set yourself up. But when I gave him that card, he goes, oh my God, you would be so, it was like the
Oops.
doors flew open. It was like, I can go to art school now. I didn't even know I wasn't doing it because of anybody. And as soon as he said, you could totally do this, it was like, thank you for your permission. I mean, I was in my late 20s, and I didn't even realize,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that I had shut off things that I wanted to please somebody. I had no idea I was doing that. So,
Wow.
yeah.
It's interesting now looking back and realizing these things. I'm sure that for you to realize that almost like you needed that acceptance and you needed that from your dad, not from anyone else, but from him,
Yeah.
was almost like aha moment,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, strangely, I never really looked at my parents as like parents, as in compared to employers. And not that I knew what that was like anyway, but I remember working at a hairdressing salon, and this woman that I was, you know, doing her hair color, she said something about having a chat with her dad. you know, because she wanted to buy a car and she wanted his advice. And I thought, really? You get advice from your father? Like, that's what. Anyway, you know, just to show that, you know, as much as I really appreciate my upbringing, things got a little twisted as far as me knowing me is concerned. And, you know, I did do art school and then I went to design school, but still I wanted
are you now in your 30s?
Yes. Yep. And then I still, oh no, you got to make money, even though sculpture and design and sculpture was really important to me. And I liked painting, but it was design that I really loved. So I went in for graphic design and I focused on that. And I did that for 15 years. And I didn't really start drawing until I think my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. We were having a big party for them. And by this time, I think they were moving to British Columbia from Ontario or something. But I have a big family and we all do an album for, you know, your 50th birthday or 50 anniversaries or something. And so the family was doing an album and I figured, and you know, I got to say, you grow up with that many people, there's competition, okay? Hands down. So you're competing. If it's not for food or attention, something else. So I thought, you know, they're all going to have such amazing pictures. I think what I'll do with my 2 pages is I'll do a drawing or a series of drawings. And that's what got me started, was just to get drawing. And then I created something for my husband after, you know, we met a few years later. And then I just started inching my way to where I am now, where I'm just going on and on. Should I stop or?
No, I think it's so interesting, especially for people that, you know, I think in their minds you have to be a certain age to go to school or a certain age to be, you know, to change your timeline. And I think this is so eye-opening that you can be in your 30s, 40s, 50s and go back to school and learn and never stop learning and learn something new, and be happy with who you are, because whatever you do, you have to find that step, that something that, you know, that inspires you, that you want to continue doing. So there's never this timeline in your life where you have to stay where you are if you're not happy, right? You can always shift and find that happiness. So I actually, I love this story because of that, because there's just no, you know, you decided to be who you were and you know, when you were 30. I mean, I think that's just amazing. And there's people that don't have that aha moment until they're 60, 70. And, you know, there's just no age. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's true. And we're continuously, at least for me, I notice I'm continuously shifting and evolving. In my 20s, I had an eating disorder, and it wasn't really, you know, it wasn't really bad compared to a lot of people that I had met. But I got myself into a 12-step program, more just to get control of things. And usually what I would do is exercise it off, you know, like eat an eclair and then walk for 3 hours or whatever, or 3 hours in the gym. But it was in that group that I realized that if you want to change, if you want your life changed, you have to, you know, you have to have faith, and you have to be willing to be willing. And when I heard those words, it's like, okay. I mean, it was amazing. Like, I used to blame the world for things that weren't going right. And as soon as I heard that, it was, you know, things aren't going right, look at yourself kind of thing. So I've been changed, you know, I love that. I'm always changing, always evolving. And I think that for my journey, I keep on becoming more and more who I am within, because there's all this stuff, people pleasing, you know, you want to do it right. I mean, who doesn't want to do it right, whatever the it is, you know? And so I'm always changing. I mean, I was a designer for 15 years, and then my job got eliminated in Vancouver. And I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not going to ever make what I used to make, because I had seniority and now there was a merger, blah, blah, blah. So we moved out here, started a B&B. Now I had a reason to paint, because I had to put some art in the guest suite. You know, way I go.
Right.
And so just going to get rid of that. So I had a notification come. Told me to shut my notifications off, but it was Instagram. So,
That's funny.
Right? And then I got into kind of realistic painting at first. It was really kind of driving me bananas. I actually hadn't been training myself to use paint. I was a graphic designer and I was really good with color, as I was as a hair color technician. But I now had to learn how to use paint. It was like, you should know this. But
I know, but it's very different. The application, the knowledge is a very different way of approaching painting. I think the background of design really helps you because you have the design aspect of it, and but color value, as I'm learning, wow, it's like a whole different language, right?
yeah, I mean, you have to know a lot when you're coloring hair. You got to do it right the first time, but also, there's like science and chemicals and all that, and we learn about, purple and yellow, and we learned that. So I knew that anyway, that they were complements and that they can cancel each other out. You have to know that as a hair color technician. So, but when I started mixing paint, I just felt so embarrassingly ashamed of myself, and I would not let my husband walk in to my I mean, I was making trash. I was doing well on some things, but other things like, I couldn't figure out value. I didn't even know what it was. Nobody could really describe it properly to me. Not that it wasn't described properly, but I'm a little bit dyslexic when I'm reading. I kind of jump forward and go back, and anyway, so it takes time, right? It takes time, and this is what I say.
Oh yeah.
Do like give yourself lots of time to learn. Makes
Right. So now that you're in that space after your graphic design, and now what made you, I know that you were caught off. Did you move then from Vancouver to where you are now?
Yeah.
You did. And was it a reason why you moved out to the country? Did you miss that like childhood, did you miss that pace?
Yeah, well, good question, Sandra. I think I've always been someone who really loves nature. And in Vancouver, I did spend a lot of time on the weekends hiking, mountain biking in the evenings after school, after work. And when I got a dog, he got 4 hours of exercise a day, generally with me, sometimes a dog walker. But I love the outdoors. And one thing I remember, especially at the design job, when somebody was leaving, particularly if they were leaving the city, the company, going to another country, I was so envious. And I thought, and I would celebrate them. And I thought, there's something here like I want. And I do love adventure and change, especially if I'm in charge of it, so I wanted something new, and I didn't need to stay because I wasn't going to look for design work again. So I said to my husband, let's just blue sky it. And then we both said, if we could do whatever we wanted, like just take money and all that out of it, and family, because we both had family there, what would we do? And I said, I'd leave the city. I'd go somewhere wonderful, wherever that is. So we came out here looking around, and we found the area that we liked. We didn't even look at houses. We just looked at what area felt really like us. And then we started looking for a house. And to get into art was a given. Like now I actually had time because I did work really long hours as a designer. And of course I walked my dog tons. So and then I also freelance too. There was like this much time to do, drawing or whatever, which I didn't do that much of. So, but definitely coming out here felt like coming home. People said to me, don't you miss Vancouver? And I went, no, I don't even miss my friends. Sorry guys, if you're listening, but it's not that. It's that I felt like I came home.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And once you made that jump, because it's kind of like a leap of faith. You kind of jumped in and said, let's move, let's start. I'm going to start painting now. Like all these new changes, right? I mean, you went all out at it, like change careers, change places. And I'm sure that the landscape that you are surrounded inspired you to do your painting,
Yeah.
or at least informed you in your abstract world how you could combine both of them.
Yeah. You know, you're right, Sandra. And I started with doing vineyards and the hills and the lake. And while that was kind of nice, I also, my marketing brain from being a designer was saying, this gets really busy in the summer. This is so busy here because it's wine country. So, but I just found that I figured people would want to buy pictures and it was driving me nuts. Like, it was like, I don't know how to make green. I don't want to do green. I don't want to do straight lines. I don't want to do these things. And so something happened in my world that really, really struck my heart and really shook me up. And that was when my dog died. And I don't have kids, so he was kind of my kid. And, you know, he was 9.5 and he got cancer and then he got another cancer. And it was just sort of like boom, boom, boom. And being a farm girl, I knew exactly what I needed to do. The thing was, I never actually lived through anything like that where I made the decision. And I was just shattered and heartbroken. And all I could do 18 months was draw and paint my dog. And what that did for me was it gave me practice. I was committed to going in. I just wanted to see him again. And I had a million pictures of him. So I did all these paintings and drawings. And the thing was, Sandra, before he died, I knew he was dying. I said to him and to his face, I said, you tell me when you need to go. You make sure it's clear for me so I don't have guilt. I promise I will paint you and I will paint the way I want. And after 1.5 years of painting him, this other promise was like, yeah, but you also promised that you would paint the way you want. And I thought, abstract, don't know what that is, but that's what I want. And so he is the reason, and my promises to him, why I am where I am today, because of my commitment to love, truth, you know, that deep connection to whatever, and whatever that is, right? And it's not that I, you know, think about Hunter every day. It's been now, I think it's coming up to 9 years, but it was it had to be meaningful to me. And it just as moving out here, which was a big life event, losing Hunter was huge life event. And I needed that to be a pivot so that all that pain is worth it, basically.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
and I think the grief, especially as artists, we all grieve in such different ways, but we have this way of showing up and drawing things that you knew what you were drawing because it was Hunter, but there's a lot of people that they just need to draw or paint or get it out of their systems, and it's a way to heal yourself. So you were healing yourself through the process, and you were having a routine of showing up and actually, you know, painting probably every day or every other day or whatever you were doing for 1.5 years. That trains your brain to keep doing things for the future. So I think that's what maybe happened to you. And when you said, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I got this.
Yeah, for sure. And he, you know, I, as a child, was always working every day. You know, I went in every day. But the thing with the painting was that it was really a struggle. It was brutal to try to do landscapes, even do paintings of Hunter. The thing was, though, I wanted to see him again by my own hand, and that means that I have to get it. I have to figure it out. And you know, my husband would say to me at the end of the day, well, how was today? And I said, it was awful. It was frustrating. Don't look at it. And he goes, well, you had fun though, right? And I said, no, but I'll I will get this. I need to figure some stuff out. Because the other thing, as I mentioned, I'm a bit dyslexic. So, you know, when I want to make a dark mark, I reach for white paint. And when I want to do light, I reach for dark. And if I have to do a shadow up, I go down. And so I've had to train my brain to, like, first it was like, what's wrong with this picture? And then I noticed, oh my God, you do the opposite of what you think. Okay, so now you have to slow down. And so, but it was hard work. But the thing was, I wanted to be good at what I was doing. I wanted to see Hunter in a way that was colorful and beautiful. I didn't use black. I used purples and blues for his black, shiny hair. You know, he's mostly outside, so his hair was kind of bluish. And from there, I started to abstract because of the second promise, and even him a little, you know, but then I just went full blown into abstract because that was my second promise. And maybe that's kind of people pleasing, but I was pleasing me because that was my promise. I made it up. Nobody told me so. And I learned a lot from having kind of him as my inspiration, because Sandra, when he was gone and I was painting, I realized that when I was stressed, I would leave the studio and go lay beside him. He was like 100 pounds, right? And I'd hug him and I'd match my breathing to him. Then I'd go back into my studio, and now I didn't have that. I was just pacing around like, wow, you really are about this.
Wow, that's pretty profound. Yes, that's very profound. And so tell me now that you're here and you have this marketing background, and obviously you didn't have an Instagram by then. And pretty quickly you moved, you know, I don't even know when you started your Instagram, but it moved pretty quickly. You got a lot of followings. You have a Facebook page now. You have all these components to sell your artwork, to put yourself out there as a coach. So tell me a little bit about that. How did you then transform your way of thinking into action?
Mm-hmm. Good questions. Okay, so let me think now. I think that after a couple years of painting, one or two actually, see, 2016 is sticking out for me. So 2015 abstraction was really, you know, I was really kind of digging it. And I put my work in a winery. I think, you know, I'm going to say this right up front, and then hopefully I don't belabor the idea. I take risks. I put myself out there. I'm not boasting because I'm kind of naive. I don't know what's going to come at me from it, but I'll do it and see later what happens from it. Because if I see people doing things and it looks like it's working, I'll try it. So I put my stuff on Facebook because I saw people doing it. I didn't really think it was that great, and I was really hanging on to every like. You know, like if somebody liked it, it was like it was a good painting, and if I didn't get enough likes, it was shit. Pardon my French. And so, you know, sure, but I just did it anyway. And a winery owner said, "Oh, I like your stuff. Would you like to put your work in my winery?" And I actually didn't answer him because I was so scared, but I did approach him the next year after I had practice, and I said, "Is your offer still open?" And he said, "Yes." So I put all my work in his winery. Well, that just upped the ante. Like, it better be good, it better be professional, which I know through the professions I've had how to make something perfect. You can't send somebody out with messed up hair or whatever. But that was in 2016, 17. And then I came across Nick Wilton's course, which I didn't take right away, CVP, because I was putting my work in that winery. That's right. That was 2018. But I was already, so what I did then, instead of doing CVP, I did a business course, kind of. I joined Alice Sheridan's Connected Artists, where I learned a lot of things about, you know, just art business, right? But I also, it's funny because when I meet somebody who knows something, even if I don't get it all, I start trying to figure it out myself. And so even though I didn't take CVP, I started trying to figure out what Nick was teaching, because I couldn't fit it into my schedule. I was also doing other work for a different show. But I was just diving in, you know. I think that's what it is for me, is I'll dive in. If I see that other people are doing it, I figure, why be frightened? Just do it. It's the same, when was it? When I was in design school, I saw other people were signing up for student exchange abroad. So I thought, why not? So I went to Holland for 6 months. Now that's my heritage. I could have gone to Italy, but I figured it would be, you know, beneficial to me to go and research my heritage. So I went to school there in design. I didn't know, and I traveled too for a month backpacking. Didn't do that either, but friends did it, and I thought, well, they lived, so I'll do that. So to be honest, I just do things that I think, well, other people are doing it. Why be frightened? And then just figure it out. And, you know, same with going to New York. I reached out to Rob Zott, who you interviewed a while back. And
Yeah, love Rob.
I hope you won't think I'm trying to sneak in and trying to steal any of your tricks of the trade. I just want to say hi. Are you open for a visit? And he goes, sure. And so I just do stuff like that, you know, meet people when I'm traveling. So I don't know how my Instagram grew so quickly, but I do post every day. I do try to make it interesting. I do try to share things that will help others and share some vulnerabilities, like, man, that wasn't going so great, but I managed. I do like to keep it on a positive note, though, because for me, that's the way through. I have just as many difficulties as the next person, maybe not as severe at the same time as you or whatever, but always thinking about the gem on the other side is what gets me through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I get, you know, a lot of questions on how you grow your Instagram. What do you do to sell your artwork? How do you put yourself out there? I think, you know, those are the hardest questions to answer because it can go many ways. The algorithms change, you know, all this like little, but you can't, I mean, social media has been amazing for artists. But like you said, you put yourself out there, you go, you get them, you know, you knock on doors. And I think that that's the most important thing. Still, you know, I think with this pandemic, things have changed and social media has saved us in ways that we never thought it would. But it also is preparing us to what is coming next. So take this time to prepare yourself to what's coming next. So, you know, I'm ready to go knock on galleries, knock on designers, knock on restaurants, you know, just put yourself out there and things will start to come your way. If you're waiting and sitting for things to come your way, they will not happen.
It's true. And I think, you know, the risk taking, I mean, seriously, the only thing that you can really risk is your ego getting bruised. And that's
correct. 100%.
You know, and I mean, good example of this. So let's see, it was 2 years ago, and I'd done CVP. I went to Europe for England for 3 weeks. We were hiking, traveling, whatever. And I had an idea. People were reaching out to me, wanted to know if I did courses. And I thought, oh God, you know, and I just want to help people. Just backtrack a bit. The show that I did the same year, the winery, I went to this show, 7,000 people supposedly coming that weekend, several, you know, a couple hundred artists. It was my first show other than this winery, right? And my gallery at home that I suited up to show my own work because of the wine country traffic. And I met artists at this show that weren't painting, and it broke my heart. I waited so long, and their reason was, oh, I don't have time or this and that. And it broke my heart. And I took a couple of these artists' emails and I emailed them later because I wanted to help them. And, you know, a couple of them interacted with me, but it's, who am I, right? You know, met this woman, right? So, you know, 2 years later, after doing CVP and seeing, you know, learning more, I started to coach artists because I didn't you know, I didn't want to figure out a course yet or whatever. So I coached for a couple of years, and I really wanted now to do a course. But last year we, you know, were selling the house and we moved here and I had to set up my studio. And I thought, you know, never is going to be the right time. Who knows when the new Mac is coming out? And I want that like so bad. I thought, take everything you have, your old computer from 2010 and your new whatever else I've got, my devices, and just do your course. Just get it out there. And I did it. You know, I pulled it out of the hat and like a couple
Wow.
of videoing in here, telling my husband, shut up up there. I'm doing it.
How fun. Oh, but that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's definitely 10, 12 more hour days, but I just want, and it was such a great course. I mean, 84 people signed up right away. And I offered it at a really great, you know, entry bonus. It'll never be that price again. It was just chock-a-block full, called Intuitive Composition. And then, you know, and they loved it, and then they wanted more, so I started a membership right afterwards, and a good fraction of them came in, and so I'm still going with that. And I don't know, you know, like I'm good at figuring things out. I have to say, I'm not boasting. I like solving problems, you know.
Yeah.
I love solving problems in the studio. I'm constantly doing that. So I've got, you mentioned my Facebook group, Paint the Way, which is free. I go in there a couple times in the week and I offer like a video chat and things like that. But I'm getting to help. This is my point, right? This was the driver. These things that move me, and this is the thing that I hope everyone, if you get anything, is watch what moves you. Watch what moves you, because that's your nugget. That's the thing that you want to chase. That if that's in your art, that's in where you want to be with your art, what you want to explore, what you want to try, who you want to approach. If you're scared but you'd like to be there, that's a good one. Take the risk. We can take.
And I would add to that the why.
Yes.
Why are you know, like, why do you want to do this, right?
Yeah.
And once you have everything that you just said with the why, it's a perfect formula for success.
Yeah.
So, so I think this is a perfect segue for you to show us your incredible studio. You guys are in for a treat. And so if you want to take your phone now and switch it around and take us around, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Let's see now. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, here it is. Okay. First, I'll show you my view.
Yeah, guys, come on. Look at this. I mean, oh, I am so jealous.
Me too.
Jealous. I'm gonna have to go see you this summer and paint next to you.
You're very welcome to.
I'm inviting myself. Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You guys, this is like total studio envy here. Wow. Yeah. How can you not get inspired by that?
Yeah. It's really special place for sure. And it was
wow.
I'm just going to kick my shoes off so I don't trip myself because I'm wearing flip-flops. But this is a game changer. When my husband and the realtor came into this house, it was just being built. The realtor looks at my husband and goes, Pauline's studio. And I thought, that's great because it takes up a quarter of the house.
Wow. It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my 22-foot paint wall.
Oh.
And then I've got storage behind this wall, which is the mechanical room, but I put all my shipping supplies. And then we put cabinetry back there. And then behind the staircase, this is the staircase. That's where I store my paintings that are for sale. There's a nice
wow. So you guys, I turned off the comments, but I'll leave 10 minutes at the end for questions. So make sure that you throw them at us. Okay, so let's start the gallery tour.
Okay, well this, I've got most of my work is either in that, okay, here's one that's finished, done 2 years ago, I think it was. This one
That's
actually was done side by side by a commission that I did. And I did two at the same time so that I could take the pressure off of myself. There's one that I did, and I did a small one of that, and it was just an idea in my head. I don't usually have ideas, but I had to try this because it was in my head, and I resisted for like a year and a half to do that. Now,
interesting.
some of my other paintings are upstairs, but I'll show you. These are the completed works that I have been working on this year, except for the top three there. I brought those in to remind me about my love of shapes because like I said, I have all this other stuff in that closet. I needed to be inspired again by some colors and that. So I brought those in, but these are the works that I've finished. This one just sold. But I've been exploring grays and pink.
Okay.
And this one I'm not quite sure about, but it's so beautiful, but there's not much there as far as effort, which I have to let it stay because I think I have to work so hard that one is reminding me, do you? Do you? So I don't know if it's done or not, but it's reminding me, don't always think you have to work so hard. Some things just come. Anyway,
Right.
these
Are those wood panels?
yeah, these are wood panels, a little bit shallower than my usuals, which are these thicker ones. I just decided to grab a few of those because we were in lockdown and I needed more panels, so I had to go local. So I got some shallows, but they look really beautiful in the frames that I bought. So I'm happy with those.
Good.
This one's just fit. Can't really see.
Wow.
There we go.
There we go. Yep. That's perfect. So
Yeah.
can you zoom in on that one, for example?
This one?
No, the one on the top that we were just looking at. That one. Because, I mean, that has all the texture, the value, the design, the line, the mark making. I think it's a brilliant painting.
It's one of my favorites. I love it. Check this out.
I love it. Yeah.
And you know,
Wow.
this here was done around a time that we were hiking around here when it was snowy, and we came across a frozen lake that had bulrushes or cattails or whatever you call them. I didn't even try to do cattails, but then I looked at it. I'm like, oh my God, the frozen lake.
But you know how your eye goes down because you have that diagonal coming down, and it almost looks like it's a bridge with people on it.
Oh, cool.
You know, so that connects you to the other side, which is, you know, it looks like a waterfall. It looks, you know, abstract, but it has this language of the non-objective art that we all know. So
Yeah.
it's, I think it's a very successful painting.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It was a lot of fun to do, and I got to do some of my favorite mark making, which sometimes I comes really naturally, and sometimes I'm thinking too much because I'm thinking design and not expression. Which you know,
Do you think about, you know, moving your eye around the whole piece? Is that something that at the end of the piece, do you finesse that?
No, I'm thinking about that throughout, Sandra. You know, it's interesting because I posted something, I think it was yesterday in Reels, and it was a few moves that I made on a piece. And when I'm doing that, I'm just exploring. But then step back and I'll look at, okay, what did that produce? I like what it produced, but how can I use what happened and support what happened by adding something else or subtracting something so I can keep this design moving, your eye moving around, you know, like this one here. I remember doing this and there was probably nothing here. And then I thought, oh, I need that and I need this. I need that. And even this part, I went in with very subtle marks. So that was the quiet conversation.
Correct. I was just going to say that the quiet conversation is still having a conversation, which is super important.
Yeah.
That little piece there, it's brilliant.
That's the last piece, and this sat without that for a really long time. And I thought, what is it? What is it? What is it? I don't force my paintings. I will leave them on the wall for months if it has to, until they tell me, you know, I'm standing at it, it's staring at me, I'm staring at it, and then it'll happen. And so
Now, can you tell me a little bit about the wall? Because I see that you have, it looks like Nick's wall, but can you tell me what you did to the wall? Is that like,
I need to
yeah,
make.
yeah, to make that wall, for people to have that kind of wall?
So the last time I did this, I put this wood straight on the wall. This time we put 3 or 4 long slabs of wood between the wall and this. And the reason why we did that, this is a 3/4 inch birch buffed plywood. It's heavy and it's smooth because I didn't want to splinter myself.
Hmm.
And so we did it that way so that when we, you know, move and whenever, that this drywall, it doesn't stick, this doesn't stick to that, because it did do that at the last place, and then you've got work to do as far as fixing the walls. So this is 5.
And then you have nails.
Yeah, these are 5 sheets together, and then these nails, these are screws actually, and they're flat tops because they've if you don't,
They
if you get,
hold it better.
yeah, you don't want a round top, you want a flat top. And there's 3/4 inch, no, they're 1.5 inch screws, 3/4 inch in and 3/4 inch out. And
Okay.
so, sorry, I'm moving so fast, but in the center of my board, they're all 12 inches apart, except for in the area where I work the most. These are all 6 inches apart, because then I can move my painting up in increments. And I have them low too, so that I can get a painting
All the
out,
way down. Yeah.
and I have them all the way across so I can hang things on. Sometimes I hang my apron on.
Yeah, it's
Um,
brilliant. I love that. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Nick Wilton is the person who I saw who did that, and I love it. I think, I mean, I wouldn't be without it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's brilliant and it's fast. You can move things around. You don't have to wait for it. I mean, it's just it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Um, so okay, so let's keep moving.
sure.
You froze. Oh, there we go. Yep. Okay.
No, I just put my tripod down so that I could rest my arms for a minute. All
Oh,
these,
sorry.
that's okay. These are works in progress, and
Wow.
have
It's
time.
really cool to see them all together, right? Because they create this community of communication,
Yeah.
and one speaks to the next, even the colors. And it's like this dictionary that you put out. And so it's a very conversational kind of thing that you have going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I'm seeing that we only have 10 or so minutes left, but you want to leave room for questions. There was a couple things. I did put something aside if we wanted to show any.
Yes, let's do that. So first, we're going to show. We actually sold right before the interview the piece that we showed yesterday, which is that very piece. And I am so excited that we made $265 for this piece, which means 2,650 meals. So and we have another surprise for you because we are so fortunate that Pauline is generous enough to donate another piece for this cost. And I haven't even seen it, but look at, oh my God, I love that.
Have two. Those
Wow.
first will be
Oh
done,
my God.
okay? Because then they can get a choice. So there's this one and there's this one.
Wowza. Okay, and we're asking $265 for each one of them.
No, these
Um,
are on paper, Sandra, so they're 195 each.
oh my goodness. 195. I mean, guys, like please, someone buy it. um, it is
Call
amazing. I love it.
on.
Please DM me or Pauline for details. We'll tell you 100% of the proceeds go to Feeding America. And this is just an amazing, amazing cause. So I'm just super excited. And I'm just, oh, okay. Ingrid just said she will buy. So,
Okay, which one?
ah, which one, Ingrid? We'll figure it out. You can take a picture of them and we'll talk to Ingrid. Ingrid, please DM me. Oh, and Rena. Oh my God, Rena wants one of them too.
Okay, we'll figure all that out later.
Oh, okay. So Ingrid wants the first one. So Rena, you'll take the second one. Thank you guys so much. You guys are helping not only this cause, but Pauline and her artwork and her beautiful artwork. So yes, Rena, you get the second one. So it works out perfect. So thank you. Okay. Woo! I'm so excited. Okay, so keep going because you're going to show us your cart.
Yes.
Uh,
Here,
look.
I'm trying to talk fast because I see what time's going on. Okay, so this is my one art trolley that's full of my drawing supplies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite drawing supplies?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, I love drawing. You know what happens, Sandra? It depends on what I'm kind of grooving with. These are water solubles, and I dip them in water, and I think, yeah, I love that. And then I found these, which have a different quality. They're kind of gel crayons. But you got to think about what you're doing. I mean, these ones here are.
What oil? We have a question. What oil pastels do you use? And sorry, see Daniel's arts. I did not see your request. I'm so sorry. They sold before I even saw your request. I am so sorry.
These guys, Sandra.
Sorry?
Did somebody else want to buy? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. They sold like right away. I'm so sorry. I didn't even look at it. They just started to pop in here. So I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that is a bummer. Okay, you said oil supplies. These are Sennelier, and those are pastels, but I also have sticks in here.
Yes.
And I've got chalk pastels and colored charcoal. I just try everything, you guys. Because for me, working in my studio is all about exploration. And I'm very sensitive to look at crayons even, what happens. I pay attention to what happens. I'm very respectful of what a product can do and not do. So this Posca pen is beautiful. And I'm going to show you something. I explored another marker. And this is one that's used for blackboards and things. This one moves with water. The other one doesn't.
What is the name of that one?
Well, if you read that,
Duty
yeah.
Chalk marker. Oh, cool.
And this
I haven't tried those before.
The only thing to know about these is that they will move when you paint over them, whereas the Posca won't. The Posca won't. And so I just try as much as I can, and then I learn from it and respect what their qualities are. I mean, look at these beauties. These are translucent gel, like gel crayons, right? And water soluble.
Yes.
Pencils. But I also have inks.
Do you think you'll ever do a workshop in person in your studio? Someone just asked that, so I'm asking.
It's a beautiful place, and when the seeds get planted, even though I think, I don't know, my brain starts chomping down, right? So who knows?
Maybe, you know what? Maybe you and I will find a place there, and we'll give a workshop together, and we'll find a place for everyone, and it will be a really fun idea to do that.
Here's another trolley, Sandra. I'm just trying to move as fast as we can here. I just organize everything, you guys, because if I organize everything and put everything back where I had it in the morning before I start working, I know exactly where everything is.
So, Pauline, I'm going to cut you off right now because we only have 5 more minutes.
Sure.
And you and I were going to do a part 2 because this is going way too fast and we have too many questions. And we're just going to have a part 2, which I have done with many artists. So I'm hoping that you will be generous enough to give us another hour of your time in a different date. Because this has been so fun, and people are saying they're having envy with your trolley. Like, oh my God, it's just been, an incredible. Someone said, did you enjoy your time at Emily Carr? I graduated in 1990 photography, but paint now.
Okay, yeah, but damn, they work you hard. Oh my God, I'm so hard.
Yes, I'm sure. Woo! Oh, Tamara just said she's in for a workshop. Rena is too. So we will keep you posted. We're going to try and work this out and give you guys a workshop. It would be really fun to do it, and it will be really fun to go out there when we can. Canada is still closed, so we can't go to Canada yet, but I can't wait. So that's something that we will definitely work on, that, Pauline and I. And we have other things in the works for you guys. So stay tuned, because Pauline and I are just starting, and our juices are creating things that are going to be amazing.
We are. You guys, make sure that you go to my website, because I am going to run the intuitive composition course again soon. And you guys, nothing will compare to being out here. But in the meantime, definitely tide you over and help with some more wonderful art making ideas and support. And I know that we're running tick, 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 tick. So you,
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
Oh my God. Thank you so, so, so much. And thank you for your generosity. I mean, we made a lot of money today to help people, and that's why we are here today, to support each other as artists, to lift each other up, to give each other light and positivity and a purpose. And that is why I keep doing what I'm doing, because of people like you. So thank you. And for our buyers, I can't thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have any questions at all, please DM me or Pauline. We're really good about answering questions to you guys. So thank you for joining us from all over the world. I see from London, from India, from just incredible. So thank you guys. Thank you, Pauline. Mwah. We'll see you next Saturday. Take care. Actually, we'll see you on Wednesday with Sarah Schroeder. So can't wait for that one. All right, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.